I think it is time for us to sit down and talk about why you should play CTF. So why not make a video and talk about three main reasons why I think you should jump into playing capture the flags or CTFs, especially if you're trying to break out into security. But before we jump into the video, I want to take a moment and thank our sponsor, Snyk, for making this video happen. And like I talked about earlier with CTFs, Snyk is actually hosting a workshop around how to get started with CTF on March 30th at 11 Eastern Time. As some of you guys may have already known, I do a lot of CTFs. I do Hack the Box, Try Hack Me. I don't do the Jeopardy style CTFs myself, but I also love organizing them. So if you have been to NahamCon for the past 3-4 years, you will see that we do a huge CTF. So CTFs are a big part of my brand and big part of my channel, and I genuinely enjoy them. And I understand getting into CTFs could be a little bit intimidating. It's going to be hard to kind of not know where to go, what to do. You may not have the right skill sets, or even if you do, you may not know how to apply them or where to look for resources and how to get started. So if you're looking to get started with CTF challenges, but don't know where to begin, check out Snyk's CTF 101 workshop. Again, it's on March 30th at 11 a.m. Eastern. You'll learn how to solve CTF challenges, including Pwn and Web, and then the Snyk team will walk through a live step-by-step demo of how to solve a CTF challenge, what to look for, and how to think outside of the box with different hacking techniques. And then in the hands-on part of the lab, you will solve your own first CTF challenge with live support so you can ask questions as you go along. So join the live workshop. Again, this is on March 30th at 11 a.m. Eastern. You can sign up by going to this link right here. I'm going to put it on the screen and on the description. It is 100% for free, and you can just register using my link. And I'll see you there. Okay, now let's jump in the video and talk about more reasons why you need to do CTFs. Well, the number one thing that I think CTFs are really important for especially beginners is that it exposes you to a lot of different skill sets that you may not even know they exist or that you may be even interested in. So for example, my first time playing a CTF, I never thought I would enjoy doing things like lockpicking, even though I don't use that day to day, but it was something that I picked up at a local CTF. I think it was B-Side San Francisco a couple of years ago before the pandemic happened, where I actually got to play with a lot of different locks, and I actually picked my first combination lock at the conference. And that's when I realized that CTFs are a really good place for you to just see what's really out there in cybersecurity. So for example, you can see things like web exploitation, you can see people doing mobile applications, there's binary exploitation, there is reversing things, there's OSINT, there's a lot of different skill sets that you may not know that you're passionate about. And honestly, doing those things and going to the CTFs, it helps you kind of look at these things and say, hey, I really enjoyed solving these web challenges, and maybe that's something that I want to pursue as a career when I break in or while I'm breaking into cybersecurity. So I mentioned why CTFs are valuable, and honestly, if you go do CTFs, it really gives you that knowledge. And the cool thing about CTFs is that you get to get exposed to these different challenges, and even if you don't get to solve them, people that have solved them later on will publish their write-ups, and you see it come out later on once the competition's over, and you get to see how other people approached it and what was their approach to solving that CTF and how they did it. So you get the solution at the end. It's not like bug bounties. I do a lot of bug bounty hunting, and a lot of times while people do their write-ups, 90% of the time you don't see these bugs because they're not getting published. So with CTFs, you get to learn those and you get to see how other people have done it. Which also brings me to my next point, that CTFs are no longer how they used to be a while ago. I think that one of the biggest complaints about CTFs 5, 6, 7 years ago, it was a lot of cryptography, stego, and that kind of things that wasn't realistic and you wouldn't be able to use them. And nowadays you see that a lot of CTFs are being created based on real life examples. And if you don't believe me, check out what IPSec had to say when I invited him on the live recon stream and what he thought about CTFs and how it helps especially people that are just doing cool things that they can't really fully talk about.
On the flip side, if I did something really cool on a pen test or red team, whatever you want to call it nowadays, I can just kind of replicate that scenario, put it in a box, and then put it out there, right? And I think that's like, if you find CTFs like that, that's probably the best way to learn, because it may not be exactly like quote unquote real life, but it's based upon real life, and you can learn those techniques to do other things that do help you. It's also like a mind puzzle and gets you like that whole critical thinking outside the box type of mentality in order to
Wow.
approach it.
So as you can see, a lot of times pen testers and hackers who are behind CTFs are finding really, really cool things at their day gigs, at their daytime job, or their part-time, whatever it is, but they can't talk about it and say, hey, I found this vulnerability at my job in this one application. But instead what they go and do is they create a CTF based on that. And I can actually put my hand up and say, I've actually done that with Adam. Adam Langley and I have been working together for years. And a while ago when I was at HackerOne, we actually created a CTF based on a vulnerability that I found on Lyft. But at the time where that video came out, the Lyft team told me that I cannot disclose my vulnerability. So instead of saying, hey, I found this vulnerability on this company, me and Adam came together. We created that exact same scenario using the same exact backend systems as them, and then we recreated that, and it was very popular and a lot of people participated. And then later on they found out that was based on a real vuln that I'd found in bug hunting. So that's another one. You get to actually see real life examples, and honestly it's a really, really good place to learn, and which actually goes to my next point. It's a really good place to collaborate with others. And the reason why I say that is most of these CTFs, whether they're being organized online, if it's a conference, you can interact with other people. And if it's virtual, you're doing it virtually, there's always a Discord channel. You can join the Discord channel and actually meet other people that are doing the same challenges, maybe create a team with them. So you get to kind of like learn peer to peer from other people. You get to meet other people that are in the community that have same skill sets as you. And it just makes this entire thing more fun. This is actually something that Al has read. He's another red teamer. He's a streamer himself. He also mentioned this on the live recon. Let's hear it from him real quick.
I think CTFs are fantastic, not only because they expose you to new challenges and they force you to learn, but they also force you to collaborate. Because like nobody is doing this field in isolation. I don't know of any. It's called a red team for a reason. Because you're never alone. You have people around you. This is an intensely collaborative space. We're all working together to make ourselves better. So you're not only learning how to do simple CTF problems or how to tackle whatever problem the CTF has put in front of you. You're learning how to work with other people to tackle problems, which is a crucial skill that I feel like not many people talk about in this space. It's like And it's one of the things that I bring up first when people ask me, how can I get into the space? And I'm like, you just need to start collaborating. You need to get into the Discords, get into these communities, start talking with people. What you're going to find is that there are tons of people who are exactly the same as you as far as where they are in their skill level. And hey, you can start getting into Discord voice chats with them and doing CTFs with them. That's a good way to not only start learning, but also make friends, build relationships. This is a tiny community, the cybersecurity community. We all kind of know each other. We all kind of know like a little bit.
Yeah, and you can also see this is something that he said as a red teamer, you work with a team and go into the CTFs, you get to network and meet more people, make some friends, make some connections, but also learn from one another. And it makes just this whole thing more fun. And it gives you a network of people to work with. And who knows, this is such a small community that you don't know who you're going to meet and who you can leverage in the future with your career. So I kind of talked about the main 3 reasons why you should do CTFs. And if you're new, you want to break into cybersecurity, maybe you're a college student, maybe you want to do a change of career, whatever the reasoning is, and you want to get into CTFs, I think there are 3 main CTF sites that you can try. There's a bonus 4th one that I will mention first, actually, but these are my recommendations. 1, you should go to your local conferences, especially if you have a B-Sides in your city. I know I'm close to San Francisco, so going to B-Sides San Francisco is very easy. I know Portland has a really good one. I know LA has a good one. I think they changed their name to ShellCon maybe. There's a bunch of different B-Sides or local conferences that are hosted every year in different major cities that could help you also play these CTFs. And the reason why I say go to these local conferences, it's because you get to meet people that are local to your area or that region, and it kind of helps make some friends in real life. We can also participate in these conferences by just going and doing them virtually. With NahamCon, when we do the conference for NahamCon every year, it's virtual. There are thousands of players that play. You can join the Discord and make some friends and do the CTFs with them. So the local conferences or the online conferences or whatever virtual conference or CTF that's happening happening online is an absolutely great place to go and learn or participate, because you get to do these cool CTFs that happen once a year. And there's always prizes associated with it. And you get to sometimes see these pros and some of these pro CTF players that participate in CTFs. And of course, there is your Pico CTF. I've talked about this in the past in one of my previous videos, but Pico is a really, really good place to not just learn hacking, but they also give you the basic understandings of different topics, like how the website works, different requests, different Linux commands, and things that you should know, that it plays a role not only in a CTF, but also in cybersecurity and hacking as a whole. So while it may not be directly doing hacking, there are things that you need to learn in order to become better at hacking that's covered by Pico CTF. The next one I want to talk about is Over the Wire. They have these war games. They're all just basically gamified or fun little games that help you understand security concept, whether it's just exploiting things, downloading things, and working on them. And they have a bunch of different variety of types. There is Bandit, there is Narnia, there is Maze. There's a bunch of different ones that you can go, and you can just go through their website, and they have hundreds of different challenges that are very good and shows you the basics of things that you need to learn in order to get better at hacking, also in combination with Pico CTF. And last but not least, you have the learning platforms like TryHackMe and Hack the Box and CTF Challenge. Those are really, really good to do. There's also Hacker 101. I prefer to just stick to TryHackMe and Hack the Box, and not only because they have a lot of different skill sets, but they're not just focused on one thing. So if you go to Hack the Box, for example, they have a lot of different web stuff. They have mobile. They have all these Jeopardy style CTFs, and they also host their yearly CTFs on Hack the Box once in a while that you can go participate in. So you can go and do those things. I'll also link them down below in the description. But these platforms also have gamified levels that help you navigate through the separate skill sets. So you can say, hey, I want to learn web. And within the web category, there's a ton of different CTFs where you learn different web hacking techniques. So that's another one. There's Hack the Box, there's TryHack, there's a bunch of other ones. You can actually, go sign up. Most of them are going to cost a little bit of money. But honestly, if you have done the previous two, this is a really, really good place to really get better and sharpen up your skills. Okay, that's it. If you haven't already, do me a favor, drop a like, give me a comment, let me know what you think of this video. Let me know if you actually play CTFs right now, or if you have ever participated in a CTF. And last but not least, if you haven't already, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification. It will help with engagement with the channel, and it will help me make more content. Okay.